explain how that feels to make 120K at 21.
Pretty fucked up, really.
I made 300 in 6.5 years.
I was just scrolling on TikTok, came across it, did the free course, then joined Platinum pretty quick. I wasn't going to make money punting, so I thought, well, if I'm going to still punt, then I'd rather have a method behind it and try and make some money off it.
1,700 of our members have accumulated for over $50 million in profit off the bookies. I'm getting all the money I can to put it into this investment because it works.
Yeah. Coming from losing on the punt to now winning match betting.
Most people's passions don't make them shit. You get to 40, you still don't know what you're doing, but at least you have money to do whatever the fuck you want. What about someone who's making like 2 to 5K a month? They're in Platinum, they want to make more. Do you have any advice for them?
If you're not going to put in the hours and the work, then there's no point. If you are willing to put in the time and the effort, then you'll get the rewards.
$120,000 profit since August 2024. We've got Jack in the newly equipped studio today here at the system. We're going to talk to him about his journey so far, rapid progress. Before we get into it, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is JP. Together with Tom and Steve, we built the System Australia back in 2020, and over the past 5 years, 1,700 of our members have accumulated for over $50 million in profit off the bookies. So the first question I have for you, welcome Jack, is how did you come across the system and what were you doing prior to coming across the system? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I first come across the system, I reckon, I had an ankle surgery and I was, just scrolling on TikTok and I seen it and, put it to the side for a fair while, and then I seen it again pop up and I thought, have a look, I got time on my hands, and I came across it, paid for Platinum pretty quickly. I did the free course, then joined Platinum pretty quick, and then I was not in Platinum for long, maybe. Or
what about just in terms of who you were prior to that? Were you a punter?
Yeah.
Were you
I punted.
gambling?
Yeah. No, I didn't lose heaps, but
yeah,
I was just launching SGMs and stuff like that in the footy, betting on horses. Just yeah.
This is when you were, so you're 21 now.
Yeah.
So you would have been 20.
Yeah, 18, 19, 20. I was always having a bet with the boys, but.
What sort of bets were you doing? $5, $10? You said same game multis.
Then like 25, 50s on same gamers.
Yeah. Did that gradually increase for any reason?
Probably not a specific reason, but just,
Were you winning or losing?
I would have been losing, but not like fucking not heaps,
Yeah. So you weren't going $25 one bet and then 100 the next bet?
No.
You were consistent?
Yeah, I was pretty well just flat staking whatever I could get a return on pretty well.
And were you an apprentice at this point?
Yep.
So you had, less than $1,000 income a week?
Yeah, mate, I was making like, my first year as an apprentice made $440 a week.
Yep. And you were still punting how much a week?
I'll say 200.
Yeah, right. So 200, feel free to, thanks for sharing that. That's pretty shit. But that would be reality for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Did you have much left over during that time in terms of savings and things like that?
Yeah, I did have savings.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you never got more than 200 a week?
Nah, not. Yeah, maybe.
Cool. So what did you actually see to start the free course? What did you see on TikTok? How did your journey go prior to Platinum?
I can't remember what specific video I would have seen. Probably just one of maybe someone making money in an interview or something like that. And then just joined and did the free course. I don't reckon I bet after doing the free course. I just sort of sat on it for a few days and then paid for Platinum and then just smashed out all the videos pretty quick. I had a week of trade school and I was just sitting there with the headphones in, just watching all the videos pretty well.
Yeah, nice.
The whole week.
You had a call with Fudge back then, funnily enough.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
What made you jump in? How quickly was it from the time you did the free course until you joined Platinum?
Yeah, not long.
Like days, hours?
Yeah, a couple of days, yeah.
What made you jump in straight away? Like $1,000 to a 19, 20-year-old is theoretically a lot of money. You did say you had some savings behind you. We get a lot of people these days that just cannot overcome that fee.
Yeah.
Why did you take only 2 days to overcome that fee and get straight in?
Yeah. Well, I did know that match betting worked. Me and a few mates
Okay.
Did a bit of horse promo stuff back in the day, but we would get a bonus and just launch it on a multi. Didn't turn it over. So I knew it worked, and I knew I wasn't going to make money punting. So I thought, well, if I'm going to still punt, then I'd rather have a method behind it and try and make some money off it.
Yeah, no, good. It's funny, the correlation to people going fast in terms of free course straight into platinum is crazy. You can pick all the top members of this community. The Fudges made like over 400K. You're now onto 120 in 9 months or even less. Greeny, same thing. Lenny, same thing. They join really quickly with, there's no time delay between free course platinum. It's just like, fuck this. I can see this opportunity, go straight in.
Yeah.
Why do you think a lot of people delay that? Have you spoken to anyone, maybe share your insights? Like, have you just had mates call it a scam or like anyone?
Yeah, well, most people just think it's probably too good to be true, I guess. And just can't be fucked, or just, can't be bothered doing it, or that's probably the thing that I think holds most people back. Some people can let go of $1,000, but it's probably just the fact that they have to actually do something to make that back. Yeah,
that is a common one actually. We get a lot of people saying, hey, like, if I invest this money, they almost feel like they have to put work in, which is like bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just a poor way of thinking.
You should want to do that.
Exactly. It's almost like you pay the $1,000 to make you work to get better.
For sure.
Versus avoiding the work to get better. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But interesting. Have you experienced any people who have said like, this is a scam or this is bullshit?
Like a lot of people did it. Probably more further down the line than
like at the start.
Platinum. Yeah. At the start, I didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't really talk about it till later down the line,
Yeah. So you joined, I reckon you joined May last year. I think it was the 29th of May, 2024.
Yeah, something like that.
And then from there, we received a message. So what happened after that? You jumped into Platinum, you did your trade school, you watched the videos.
Yeah. Then not long after, I joined the sports service. That's why I had a free call with Fudge.
Yeah, okay.
I wanted to talk about
so you had the free call after Platinum?
Yeah, after Platinum.
Yeah, okay.
And I had a free call with Fudge I had a call with him about something, and then I talked about the sports service, and he said, it's closed, but I'll talk to you about pushing me in.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll let you in.
Yeah, and I got in. Yeah.
And then from there, how much bankroll had you started with at this point?
Oh, not a lot. Like, let's say $4,000 maybe.
Yeah. So in your first, that was maybe a month and a half from the time you joined Platinum to Sports System. Had you made any money in that time?
Yeah, I reckon I made a couple of grand pretty quick.
How did you do that?
Horse, like I was in horse system.
Horse system, yeah. Deposit offers?
A few, but I didn't really understand the deposit offers fully at the start.
Okay. What unit size were you following for horse back then?
I think I started straight on 50s.
Yep. Yeah, cool. Didn't follow the advice to go slow, just straight in.
Yeah,
nice. I mean, it's funny, if people rush sometimes and they make money quickly.
Yeah.
Even this is why we changed the agenda with Platinum. You may not be as aware of this because you've obviously progressed onto further pathways and you may not be in the loop with all the Platinum language. Yeah. But we used to encourage people like defense.
Yeah.
Nowadays, still defense, but encourage people to make money at the start a little bit more aggressively. So encouraging them to take the deposit offers because what that does in your head is it proves to you that it works.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you have an advantage. You said you'd already done some promos on the horses before you even jumped into Plat. So you knew it worked.
Yeah.
That's like tick. I know match betting works. Well, it makes sense that there's more stuff that is out there and I'm not doing it currently. So I have the curiosity to just join Platinum out of the curiosity. Yeah. Whereas you might have to go back a step for someone who's really skeptical. And until they actually see the money get made, they're like, well, fuck, this is a scam or whatever.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So now it's like make people money early on, especially even with the free course. We encourage people to make some money.
So that's awesome, 1,000, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people aren't going and making their 1,000. We actually don't encourage people to do the full 1,000 because like the reality is if you do 200, you know it works.
Yeah, but you can.
Yeah, if you went through all the deposit offers. But I would say if you had a choice to do 200 and then jump to Platinum because you're obviously going to miss all the defense. You're going to miss setting up the accounts properly.
Yeah.
You're going to open up 10, 15 accounts and potentially get a couple banned when you could have just done it if you got the money. So what that does though in your head is like, this works. Now I've proven to myself it works and it also validates your effort that you're putting in.
Yeah.
Because if you're fucking sitting there watching 20 hours of content and then you don't make any money for 2 months, it's like, most people are going to be like, what's the fucking point of this?
Yeah,
This
there's
is a
no
waste of
point
time.
doing this. Yeah.
Did you feel like that at the start, or you didn't because you made money?
Yeah, I didn't because I'd made money. I wouldn't have been able to do it on a low unit size, I don't reckon.
As in you wouldn't have
No, I
lasted?
probably wouldn't have followed through. If I was just doing 10s or, you know, $5-10, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Are
wouldn't have
you
been able to do it.
patient as normally as a person?
Yeah, but not heaps patient. But now, like, I'm probably a lot more patient than what I would have been 9 months ago. Yeah.
Cool. So let's progress on from there. So $50 units on horse. I mean, back then you're probably averaging 1,000 a month, maybe something like that. Joined sport. That did well. It was only a 20-week service back then. That was winter with the tennis ball emoji.
Yep.
I can't remember the exact profit, maybe 5-ish, 4-ish, if you followed it all.
I reckon I would have, I love the sports system.
Yeah.
I would have made about that off it, I reckon.
Yeah. What did you like about that?
You just put your bets on and watch the sport that you love. That's what I liked, betting on the footy, and then just sit there and watch it.
Yeah. Knowing you're going to make money.
Knowing you're going to,
Did it change the way you actually fitted match betting into your life? For example, like horse system requires you, if you're going to do it properly, to sit there for 3 or 4 hours, 5 hours on a Saturday. Did the sports system change the way you followed? Did you play footy as well?
Yeah, it was hard horse system with footy. I was, sort of betting until I played, and then after, you check how you go or whatever. But, sport was a lot easier. Heaps easier because, you got tipping windows and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get the tips like 2 hours, 3 hours before, tip, get them at 4 o'clock, match starts at 7, got the time to put the bet on, not encouraged to do it straight away, get it done. Obviously turn your bonus over as normal, go from there.
Yep.
Now, you then reached out to us. I reckon it was, I'm just going to check my phone. It was late
because, I reckon
July maybe.
The telegram that we meant to the road to 150K, I reckon I messaged that
June.
asking about the sports service after I had a free call with Fudge.
Yeah. It was on June 23, 2024.
Yep.
You said you had 6K invested, you had 20K savings. You kind of thought you weren't quite there yet. You'd made 2K profit to this point on a $50 unit size.
Yep.
Most is coming from deposit matches and then also the horse system. But then you said you're keen to join sports. And then from there, you had the call with Fudge, I think, the next day. And then you said, hey, I want to join sports.
Yep.
From there, I think you then messaged me on my personal because I don't have any conversation here. But you reached out randomly and just sort of launched it all. And then you're like, fuck this. I want to join mentorship out of nowhere.
Yeah, because a mate of mine is in the mentorship program. And I remember talking to him about it and what he'd made and what he'd done. And I thought, I know match betting works. I wouldn't mind taking it to the next level.
So when you did that, the program back then was a little bit different to what it is now. Yeah. It was very much, I wouldn't say less professional, but it was less clear on what it was. It was very much like, hey, trust us sort of thing. This is what it is.
Yeah.
You obviously took the leap of faith. How did you do that? Because you didn't fully have the funds, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I got a loan off my old man. He helped me out.
Interesting. We cop a lot of scrutiny for this.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think we told you to do that.
Nah.
I think you just did that.
Nah, yeah, I did. Yeah.
We don't tell people to get loans, by the way, but reality is, and this is going to get a little bit, who knows, I don't give a fuck personally, because if I was in a situation, right, where I was 22 again and I just came across match betting, which is that's how I came across it.
Yeah.
I think I had $2,000 or $3,000 to my name. If I knew that I could then go and make $300,000 in the next 6.5 years, back then that is tiny amount of money compared to what you guys are making in the time. It makes no sense to not do that. So you just have to, in my head, this is how I would think, is like, I'm getting all the money I can to put it into this investment because it works.
Yeah.
Versus waiting 6-12 months to save up for it. Why do it when you can just do this now? So there's probably been, I would say, 5 people that have done that, similar to you, where they've gone and just made it happen from family members or whatever. And that's not us telling them. That's just them identifying the opportunity and being like, fuck this, I am not missing this opportunity. I'm in it.
Yeah.
Now, we've then posted people like you. I think you're the only one that's actually said, I got a loan to join.
Yeah.
And there's actually a couple of clips that have been posted on our socials.
Yeah.
And people rinse us in the comments saying, oh my God, you're telling someone to get a loan
think I'm getting one
to gamble and shit like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to share did you have any fear with that? Like, how do you even talk to your dad to actually say, bro or dad, I'm getting a loan. Can you give me money? I'm going to bet. Like, how does that conversation even happen?
I the loan wasn't from the bank, which probably it was
from your
just
dad.
from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just told him to trust me and promise that I'll, give him that money back. And
did you tell him what it was for?
Yeah. And he was fully aware of what it was.
So to this point, does your dad know what match betting is?
Yeah, but not like...
Doesn't know the details?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you someone who has been like trusted by your, like, do you make good decisions as a kid?
Yeah, I never made any really poor ones. Yeah.
So he's just backed you in?
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah. And it wasn't a full amount, was it? It was just a partial loan, yeah?
It was like 7K.
Yeah, so that got you over the line to be able to get into the program, which is good. From there, right, I'm assuming you would have made it anyway. You may have joined maybe 2 months, 3 months later anyway, but you jumped in straight away.
Yeah.
You've now gone on from, I think at that time, how much you've made, 6K profit or so.
Yeah, something like that.
You've now made 120. Now, there's been a lot of things that have happened and a lot of different things that you've tried and methods and things like that. Let's go through the first couple of months of mentorship, because you were at the night in October, and I think to that point you weren't making that much because your bankroll was low.
Yeah.
And then you had a huge breakthrough end of last year, 2024. Yep. You featured on that webinar where we did Wemby, you and Fudge. Yep. That one's now being posted. You'd made 50K to that point. So from about July when you joined to December 29, 50K profit, with I reckon 20 or 30 of that coming in December, November.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So let's talk about before that. What was your first couple of months in mentorship like? Was it difficult with low bankroll?
It was difficult because I just had I had funds to bet with, but it was sort of tied up in accounts and I didn't have just money to put where I wanted it, if you know what I mean. Like put in accounts that I need and get deposit offers, and it was a bit tricky at the start because I had low bankroll, but that was down to if I wanted to join or save up for however long to have the bankroll.
If you had to go back again, would you have waited or gone?
No, I would, yeah.
Why?
Because I wouldn't be here now for...
Well, you'd probably be here in like 9 months or something.
Yeah.
And the time now. So you're now 21 years old.
Yeah.
And you're starting to get to the point now where I would say, like, maybe explain how that feels to make 120K at 21.
Yeah. It's pretty fucked up, really.
So why is it fucked up?
Because, I don't know how many 21-year-olds would have made 120 grand.
Is that enough for you? Like, do you want more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said to a mate the other day who I do a little bit of betting with, I said, we'd have to be one of the greediest duos you say.
There's people out there that were greedy.
Yeah, I know, but we just...
What does it make you... Does it feel like you're cheating / does it feel unfair?
A little bit, yeah. Coming from losing on the punt to now winning match betting, it doesn't feel doesn't feel real, sort of, in a way.
Do you know people who lose?
Yeah. Yep. I have mates that lose and I've, sort of steered them in the right direction a bit.
Has it helped them?
Yeah. One of my mates, he'll join mentorship.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Very soon.
Yeah, nice. Is he platinum already or just?
No, he's just He has been plat like 3 years ago, I reckon.
Oh, so he's platinum.
Oh, yeah, but he wouldn't have watched.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. You mentioned his name before, okay, going back to how does it make you feel? Obviously, the first few months you weren't making a super amount of money. I reckon you would make 20 or 30 in your first 4 months, which is good.
Which is good, but
5K months to start out. And then now you're doing some significant money. Let's go even prior, like just take yourself to December where you'd made 50, you had that breakthrough.
Yeah.
What happened in your head when you saw, let's just say like a 20K month or a 25K month?
Yeah.
What does that do to your head? And what does that do to your limiting beliefs? Do you suddenly realize, fuck, there's way more out there that I didn't know?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I still think that now. Yeah, there's so many opportunities out there. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty hectic what you can do out there.
So what's the plan now? I think you're quitting your job.
Yeah.
So not planning on pursuing that?
My work?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay. What do you do? Trading in what?
I'm an aluminium boat builder.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
But mine,
Very niche.
yeah, my old man's a crayfishman.
Yep.
So that's seasonal. So for the crayfishing season, I'll go crayfishing.
Oh, you actually work with your
Yeah, I'll
dad?
do it with Dad, yeah.
So you like doing that?
Yeah. I haven't done a full season with him yet, but since I was like 14, I've always.
What does that
gone out
look
with him.
like? It's not underwater, is it?
No. You go out every day from months of September to December, maybe, or every day that the weather permits.
Yeah.
And pull cray pots.
Yeah, right. In the ocean, yeah.
Yeah.
How deep?
Anywhere from like 10 to 30 fathoms, and fathoms around about 6 foot.
Yep. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's when the weather's nice, it's the best job in the world, but when the weather's not nice, it's probably the worst.
Yeah. What are the plans with how much money you want to make? You made 120. I assume majority of that is like now yours. Like you haven't gone and spent a lot of it.
Nah, I'll spend a bit, but
what do you spend it on?
I've got a couple of holidays coming up.
Yeah. I mean, that's
just normal.
fine.
I haven't gone and bought
Louis Vuitton bags for
like
people and shit. No.
Yeah. Nah.
Okay, so do you feel now that has your do you have stress around money before this?
No, not really. No.
You didn't care about money?
Nah. Oh, I did, but I didn't sleep worse at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your money mindset, has it changed at all?
Yeah.
In what way?
In a way that you sort of don't worry because you can just make more money.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's really hard to explain that to someone unless they experience it.
Yeah, like you can go and do something and buy it because you know that you're just going to make more.
I understand. I fully agree.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. I can spend $5,000 on this accommodation for like 3 nights because like I'll just make more.
Yeah,
I fully agree with
it's
that.
It's going to make it pay.
It's fucked to tell that to the average Joe to hear that when the majority of Australia right now is complaining about fucking cost of living and stuff.
You sort of become desensitized in a way, I think. Which, probably not great. But
what do you mean by desensitized? Explain what you mean.
Yeah, sort of. If you went and bought something for, like you said, accommodation $5,000 for 3 nights, most people aren't going to do that and not worry about it. Yeah, and they're not going to do it and then just go, I don't care because I'm going to make more. Yeah, that's sort of desensitization in a way. I feel. Yeah,
I agree. Has it ever been affected you in a negative way, being desensitized to money?
Not as of yet, but I'm sure it probably will some stage.
Yeah. Through this time, have you spent enormous hours doing this? Like now let's talk about what you're doing. We won't go into like details on like the methods and stuff because they're ultra niche and there's all sorts of different things that you're doing with it. But what sort of hours were you spending on it maybe in the first 3 months and then maybe comparing that to now? Has that changed?
Not really. Like it has, but it hasn't gone from 20 hours to 50.
Yep.
It's probably, gone from like, anywhere from like 18 to 25 to, probably 25.
Yeah. So 25 hours a week.
I don't even know if I do that,
Maybe less.
Yeah.
What does it look like for those wondering? Because there are a lot of people that are like, it's all good and well to like say he's making all this money, but like how the fuck does that look like in his life? Like are you going on your phone every day for 2 hours and then going off your phone? Is it more like check phone every couple of hours? How does it look? Let's just talk about weekdays first and then we'll go into Saturdays and Sundays.
It's sort of hard at the moment at work. I struggled a bit at work, obviously.
That's mainly sport, I assume.
Yeah. And a Wednesday on the horses, like I miss. Yeah. Which is hard, and any other promos that are. Yeah. I do miss a lot because of work, which is the reason I sort of want to quit. Or I'm going to quit. And then on the weekend, if I don't have something on, I'll follow a horse system. I'm probably not that disciplined on a Saturday, purely because I've always got 5 or 6 mates in my house, drinking beers and whatnot.
When you say discipline, what do you mean?
Like if something's on the Saturday, I just won't bet on the Saturday.
Not discipline as in like gambling, more discipline.
Yeah, not discipline. Yeah, I don't go and gamble. Yeah. Like I don't sit at my desk and I'll just
When you do that, do you still get the stuff you need done, or you just turn it off?
No, I still get it done, but probably not to the extent you'd like it to be done.
And then what does a good Saturday for you look like in terms of what, like, are you in your room by yourself? You got your screens?
Yeah, I got my desk set up with a few screens and TV and that. Just follow it. Try and outlay as much promo as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then have you noticed you've become way more efficient, confident? You can get more done in less time?
Yep.
When did you start to realize that, you had your 25, 30K month at the end of last year?
Yeah.
When did the idea come about that you can make way more off this? Like, was there something you heard or saw?
Not really, just sort of scaling. If you can make however much, just double your operation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just growing your operation mainly.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. Would you describe yourself as a super intelligent guy? Are you an average Joe? Were you good at school? Were you good at math? Like, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself prior to match betting.
Yeah, just an average Joe sort of. I was never great at school, but I wasn't bad.
Okay.
And nothing out of the ordinary. I wasn't a super nerd or nothing like that.
Did you try other side hustles or anything like this, alternative ways to make money through 19, 20? No, nothing?
No.
Yeah, interesting.
Nothing. Didn't sell stuff on eBay or anything.
Are you now looking for more ways to make money outside of match betting, or are you just happy to really go deep into match betting now?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not looking really outside of match betting at all.
Yeah. And what's your goal?
I reckon I said this at the mentorship night. I don't really have a goal of a specific figure, but just, I don't know, I'd just like to be consistent, I guess.
Yeah, if you put together another 12 months of this, like, you're going to be in a really strong financial position.
Yeah.
I mean, reality is you're going to be 22 years old, and not that you'll never have to work again, but I think you'll never have to worry about money again. I reckon you're already there.
Yeah.
You already know you have a fucking tap really to turn on whenever you want, which is a fucked feeling to have as a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
I think I got that feeling when I was 23 or 24.
Yeah.
Like, I only made probably 20K in my first few months off it, just purely deposit offers. And then
still a lot.
Mate, back then it was worth a lot more. Like, a Europe trip would cost literally 1,200 return flights. Now it's like 3-4K.
Yeah.
So back then you could go to Europe for 2 months and it'll cost 10K. Whereas now it might cost 30.
You go there for a day and it costs,
Yeah. So that feeling to me didn't come to me till I was about 23, 24, my second or third year of it.
Yeah.
But it's really difficult to explain that to the audience, because then you always get the people that say, like, oh, if it was so good, you'd still be doing match betting. But obviously, I guess you guys understand why we do this, because we get to, like, sit across the table from a kid who's made 120K and 12 months ago he was just betting and losing some money. Yeah. So I guess, would you say this has been life-changing?
Yeah, probably.
In what way? Or it hasn't affected your life at all? You don't have to say yes.
No, it has. But I think if you ask me in 2 years or a year, it'll be a different answer. But yeah, you can see that it's on that path. So it hasn't really changed your life much. It's pretty much just fit into your life. Yeah, not my day to day. It hasn't really changed anything. Yeah. It's sort of just fit in. When I assume when I finish work, it'll become reality a bit more. Do you think you're going to do more work or more? Sorry, do you think you're going to do more match betting after you finish delete the work? So more hours. Yeah. And that's going to make you more money, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, I only sort of, like, I'll do a bit of work the night before for bets the following day. Yep. Then get home, do all my data entry, and then, whatever is left on that day, like horse racing, sort of bet on that. And then, that's sort of the end of it. I don't have a lot of time because I wake up at 5 and get home at 4, so I don't really have that much time. Yeah, outside of work to bet, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah. What would you say to people who say they don't have time? So I'll say that again. What would you say to people who say that they don't have enough time to do this? Yeah, well, some people might not, but I think the vast majority of them are just using that as an excuse to. Yeah, I would say there's a combination of. Comes down to the can't be fucked sort of aspect. Yeah. Yeah. A bit of that, but also if you don't know something is really good, then you don't prioritize it. Yeah. So for example, if you thought that match betting made you $100 a week and you could just turn a bonus over and make $20, like the people in the comments say, oh, you just made $20, what's the point of that?
they don't know that you can make hundreds of thousands, or just strip it back down and just say 10,000 a year easily in your sleep, right? Anyone starting can do that in 12 months. If they knew that, they would prioritize it. But because they don't know that and they think it potentially doesn't work, then they're like, well, fuck this, I'm not doing the work. Yeah. I think it's a combination of that. Can't be fucked because it doesn't make sense, because it's not worth it.
That comes sort of down to speeding up your operation, going from free course to platinum to really quick.
Believing it works, proving to yourself it works, putting yourself in situations where you actually have the chance of it working because you actually are making it higher chance of working. Yeah. Then all of a sudden shit starts happening.
Yeah. It's not even believing it's working, it's just actually seeing that it works. So
spot on. Yeah.
A lot of people believe it works, but they just don't do it.
100%.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah. Like we can say it works, but we've noticed if we don't post videos of us showing it how it works, even the old free course, it wasn't betting. It wasn't showing us placing bets. We changed that because we realized that people weren't connecting the dots. Oh yeah, it's all good and well. Like get a whiteboard out, say here's a bonus turnover, but brother, just do it. Show us. As soon as people see it, they're like, well, fuck, this works. Yeah. Then it's like they've just moved along. Okay, what else is there? Then you've moved along that belief spectrum. Yeah. Which I think happened with you really fast. So that's good.
I always see the clips of how you guys do bet, and it probably would help a lot of people to see that, like you said. Yeah.
It's just hard to give that to the people who are just learning about match betting. If you start throwing like advanced clips at them, it can overwhelm them, and then they don't know what this is. So you got to be really careful, and it's hard to know where people are at. That's why we have the free calls. That's why we have a free call service. Obviously, you can take advantage of that. Hey there, sorry to interrupt. Jack's made $120,000 from match betting, and he's done that all within his first 6 months with the system. But the main reason as to how he's done that so fast is the speed at which he's taken the opportunities that came to him. He took 2 days to join Platinum after doing the free course, and then he took a month to join the sports system, and then another month to join the Mentorship Program. If you're sitting there and you are not yet making at least $1,000 every single month from your match betting, jump into the Platinum community. There's a link on the screen right now for more information on what it actually is. You can join 2,000 other members who are all working towards the same goal, and that is to make money risk-free in Australia from match betting. Cheers. So, okay, your life hasn't changed that much. You're still Jack, 21-year-old, who's doing work, going to quit soon, still play footy. That takes up a fair bit of your week, I would assume.
Yeah, fair.
Like now you're about to start getting into footy in terms of playing first match tomorrow.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lenny and Greeny have got plans in place for you to be able to still do what you need to do, even though you're playing footy.
Yeah.
Have you got plans for that are ready to go for tomorrow, for example, Saturday? Yeah. And is that something that you thought was possible 6 months ago, or you thought you just missed the day?
Yeah, I probably would have thought you just missed the day. But
okay.
Yeah, there's ways around it.
Yeah, and has that helped you now to still want, like, because some people will just like, oh, I need to quit footy or I need to quit match betting, one or the other. You managed to fit both of them in.
Yeah. I'd never quit footy. Yeah.
So is there like a problem with balance, or you've managed to just nail it?
Yeah, it sounds
because you're working full time.
But I sort of have, work full time, train twice a week, play on a Saturday.
Got a missus?
Yeah.
Missus as well?
Yeah.
Spend time with friends and family?
Yeah. I live with my two best mates, which helps. But and our house is sort of the house that all our mates come to. So
yeah, okay.
You sort of see them all the time as well.
Do your best mates match bet? Surely they're seeing you print.
Yeah.
Do they start getting into it?
Yeah. I've sort of dragged them into it a bit. One of my mates, he does. I bet with him a little bit, and he's made some money. And another guy, my best mate Jack, he's been doing a bit of what I'm doing, in the niche sort of side of it.
Yeah.
And he's made like 35 grand
in a
few months. So he's the one that I was saying he'll join mentorship.
Yeah, okay.
Good. Yeah, he got told that he's sort of not allowed to do it, and I said, well, if I give you this.
What do you mean not allowed to do it?
Like his parents have said, like, no way. And I said, well, if I give you this and you do it and make however much, you can go back to them and say.
As in you gave him bankroll?
Yeah, a little bit. And
you returned the loan?
Yeah, and sort of, something to follow in a way.
Yeah, interesting.
And said, if you can go and make that much, and then you can say, look, it works, I've made this.
Why did you do that? Why did you give him money? I assume it's not a lot, but why did you do that?
Just always, he's my best mate. You do anything for your mates you bring them up with you, I guess. Yeah.
So you get a bit of reward seeing him make money.
Seeing him win. Yeah.
What does that feel like? Because have you ever done, I'm sure you've done stuff for people in the past, but to see, because 35K is a good amount of money for a 21-year-old, I assume he's around that age.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel good inside? How does it make you feel?
Yeah, it's good seeing him because he bet as well, and he was always interested in match betting as well. So yeah, I just sort of tried to fast track him and get him doing what I'm doing. Because if you can do it together, match betting it is rewarding, but at the same time, it's sort of, when you win a lot of money by yourself, it's just like, oh, whatever, another day. But if you do it with your mate, then it's even better.
Yeah.
I know what I mean.
Fully, it's almost like lonely. And people hate hearing this, but like I made 300 in 6.5 years, which is tiny. I'd have 6 months off. No, I only did sport for like 3 years. Then I discovered racing in like 2018, which is my 4th year. Yeah. Then I made some money off racing and then kind of just came across this business, started this up and then completely stopped it as of last year completely. I'll never do it again. I'll stick to that.
Never bet again.
Never bet again. Well, I haven't bet for like over 6 months properly. Yeah. But I was doing a bit of match betting last year. I made 15K in like October, just trying a method that Greeny had introduced to us and just wanted to see how it worked and then sort of seeing it, wanting to do it myself, spent maybe 60, 70 hours over a course of a 5-6 week period, made 15K and then just fully hated it. I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? You're
taking 60 hours away from your business,
which is what should be my main focus. Yeah. But the 300K that I made, as dumb as this sounds, it helped me and it obviously got me in a position where I'll never have to worry about money again. Not from the 300K being the money I'm going to live off for the rest of my life, but because it got me so far ahead, I then had the time and the energy and the mental bandwidth to stop and be like, I don't need to get paid right now. I don't need money. I've got a war chest sitting right here. Yeah. I can sit and do whatever the fuck I want for like 2 years. So I'm like, okay, cool. What do I do? I hate what I'm doing. I don't have any purpose. I don't have any goals. But that money had only benefited me. So no one else really had benefited from it. So it's like, money, great. Financial freedom, great. But like, then what? And I don't think people understand that until they've made a lot of money. Because if you say that to someone who's broke or has $2,000 to their name, as soon as they hear that you could be making all this money from match betting, their assumption is, why the fuck would you stop it? That doesn't make sense. Why would you stop? You got this fucking money tap. Oh, you're a scammer. Yeah. But they don't understand how that makes you feel when you don't actually share it with anyone. Yeah. And now, even though you're not sharing it with your mate, you're doing it with your mate. Yeah. That gives you a bit of association, a bit of hunger, a bit of camaraderie to actually do it. And then all of a sudden you're extending the life. You have a bit more purpose because now you've helped someone else set up his life indirectly. Yeah. And it's like, fuck yeah. Like we've all just fucking, we're kings. Together, like you like no ego. It's just like we're fucking having a crack and we're doing it together. And I used to bet with Tom, used to bet with my original business partner, Kiro, they're both my groomsmen on my wedding next Saturday. Like to experience, even my other best mate, Jackson, who's not a punter or a match bettor, he may like make 10, 15K off it. But you just get to share it. And it's funny seeing them sit there. Do it. They'd have a night where they do like the old sports early payout promos and they'd make like 4K. Yeah. And they're on like 800 a week as an electrician or something, apprentice. And he just made like 4K off the match.
Yeah, that's just story like, is my mate to a T, electrician apprentice. Yeah.
It's funny because then they're like that's just like fucking 5 weeks of pay for them and they just got it in like 2 hours. Yeah. And these are the old stories. But that feels good.
Yeah, yeah. And you tell people about, they'll ask you what you make and you're like, oh, and they're like, oh, tell me. You tell them and then they're like, oh, I wish I could do that. And I say, well, you can. Yeah. I didn't figure anything out. I'm not a genius. Just,
Someone messaged me and I need to do a video on this. He basically said, I'm working full time. I have like basically no time to think. I'm always working. I want to find that thing that I'm passionate about. I wish I had that thing. And we're going probably off topic here, but I don't think many people have that thing. Like, do you have that thing?
Yeah, I'm sort of getting it with match betting a bit.
Yeah. But that'll go.
Before that, probably not really.
Yeah. I mean, you do now. And people are like, why would you tell people that you got bored of match betting? You're now telling kids like you to match bet kids. And then it's like, well, what's the point? Then you got to a point where you had no purpose, no goals. But Yes, but I made 300K.
Yeah. And
so now I have 300K that I've made and I've spent and I've got all the experiences from travel and going all over the world. You're starting to travel now.
Yeah.
Like you will be a completely different person after you earn that money and you have these different experiences that you couldn't have had before. So all of a sudden now you get to the age of 25, you're sitting there with who knows, $500,000 fucking saved up. And it's like, well, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't need to go and work 9 to 5. I don't need to ask some guy to fucking pay me every Thursday night. I can literally do nothing and work out what I like.
Yeah.
And then some people don't work that out for years, decades. You get to 40, you still don't know what you're doing, but at least you have money to do whatever the fuck you want.
Figure out what you,
Literally. And that's what a lot of people don't get in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
But yeah, you say with match betting, like the guy said, I wish I had that thing. I would say to answer that, and I'm going to make a video on this, don't look for the thing. And Hormozy did a really good podcast on this about doing your passion, making money off your passion. Most people's passions don't make them shit. Your passion might be like fishing.
Yeah.
Like, that's not making any money.
You can make money.
Well, your dad does. But point is, do something else.
Yeah,
maybe
not just
like,
going amateur fishing. Just,
I don't know, maybe it's like fucking painting or something. Like most painters are not, unless they're like
an artist. Yeah.
Like they're not. Or even like comedians and things like that.
Yeah.
Do something that you are really good at, right? Now, most people are not really good at anything, so they then just don't do anything. Guess what? You only get good at something if you do it for a long time. So after you start getting good at it, guess what? You're going to like it. Yeah. And then once you like it, guess what? You make money from it, and then guess what? It becomes a passion. So don't chase the passion, make money. Now that might be controversial advice because a lot of people are like, oh, money's not the purpose of the whole world.
Yeah.
But I promise you, if you make money and then you work out what you want to do, having the money allows you to then do whatever the fuck you want, which allows you to then find things you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a hard one because until you get it, it's hard for people to understand that. So what is your plan? Like, when are you going to stop this? Are you ever going to stop it?
I don't have any plan to stop it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I literally don't know what my plan is.
But you have a structure. Like all of that, those 120,000 is tracked.
Yeah, most of it.
Like you're tracking it consistently.
Yeah.
You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you think if you didn't track, you would have gone off track? Pardon the pun?
Yeah, probably. I would have punted probably.
You would have punted, you reckon?
I reckon if I didn't track it.
Why would you have punted?
Just because you can't see what you're losing, I guess. Well, you can, but yeah. Every bet that you track, so if you can see that you're winning from match betting and then you go and punt and lose a bit,
you feel shit.
Actually see it, yeah.
Yeah, your work's
You've
like
gone
hard
like,
work.
fuck, I've done that work to get that.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom used to say that because he put in all the work to make the money.
Mm.
And then next minute, if he was to punt, he'd look back and be like, oh, fuck.
That was stupid.
Like, what was the point of doing all that? Yeah, it makes you feel like shit a bit. Do you have any advice for people out there, firstly, that are in the free audience who aren't yet in platinum? I know you'll say, oh, yeah, join platinum, it's amazing. But like, what can you tell them that is going to make them get over the line? Think maybe in the position of someone who's done the free course, they kind of know what it is. They maybe not think it's worth it. They know match betting works, but I'm not paying $1,000. Fuck that. I'm not paying $1,000. What would you say to that person?
Well, you guys literally show them in a free course that you can make $1,000, and you can make endless amount of money purely off what you show them.
So why join platinum if they can just make $1,000?
Because there's lots of ways you can make money from betting, and I know probably like nearly none of them in the big.
I think
big
you're being a bit
scheme
harsh for yourself, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
There's always different ways to make money within match betting. It's not just what you're showing in the free course.
Yeah. Is there anything you would tell them to do? Like what you said, like you can learn more stuff, but like what's your advice to them? Pretend I'm here sitting here saying, Jack, fuck that. $1,000 waste of money.
Look for things to find or pay for. Like Greeny's found all these methods. You can pay for that advice. Yeah. Experience. So you're saying don't try to work it out yourself. Yeah. I can just pay someone else to do it. Leverage, yeah. Did you understand this before joining? Like, why did you then join mentorship then, if you didn't understand that? Well, probably because of Lewis, fair bit because of Lewis. So you needed the proof from your mate? Well, not really the proof, but just I probably would have joined anyway, I reckon, but because he said how much he'd made, I was like, fuck, I want to do that. And I want to do it now.
Yeah, interesting. So
Yeah.
you get motivated by other people better than you, or not really?
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
Me and Louis talk every day about it, and
That's been
it's
helpful to work, like not together, but you also have the ability to talk to each other.
Yeah, we're completely separate setups, but we do a few of the same things and talk to each other about it, and tell each other what's working, what's not, and yeah.
What about someone who's making like 2 to 5K a month? They're in platinum. They want to make more. Do you have any advice for them in terms of what problems mentorship solved? And then more specifically, would you recommend, or I'll rephrase, what would you say to someone who is on the fence considering joining mentorship program, considering they want to make more? What would you tell them?
Yeah. Well, if you really want to do it, then do it. If you're on the fence about, I don't know about mentorship, like don't know if I got the time, then if you're not going to put in the hours and the work, then there's no point. If you are willing to put in the time and the effort, then you'll get the rewards.
Yeah.
And there's not that much time difference compared to what I do, compared to what someone in platinum would do, I reckon. I think you'd find that
there'd be some. I think
some that do like similar hours.
25's, I would say, high end for plat.
Yeah. I don't
15,
think I would. I'll do like...
Oh, you do less?
Yeah. I reckon I oversold.
Yeah, maybe 15 then.
Yeah,
20.
like literally, yeah.
Yeah, nice. I mean, sounds like you got your week pretty well managed. Are you someone who's organised or not really?
Not really. No.
Just get it done.
Yeah, just find the time to do it.
Yeah. We're going a bit all over the place here. I've got a couple more questions. Do you tell people how much you've made?
Yeah, if they ask, I will.
But you don't you're not a bragger, you're very humble.
Yeah, I won't go say to someone, I've made this. If they ask me, I will. Yeah. I'm not going to say, no, I'm not telling you.
Okay, let's go through the list. So dad knows?
Yeah.
Knows how much you made?
Yep. Yeah, I talk to him every week about it probably.
Does he like it? Does he think it's funny?
He still probably doesn't think it's real.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he does, but you tell him what you're doing and he's like, oh, fuck. Like, you can't do that.
Cool. So he's obviously not a punter.
Nah.
What about...
He put like $5 bets on once every... Yeah.
What about grandma? So tell a story about grandma. Last mentorship night, you were talking about how your grandma doesn't believe this is real. She reckons it's all fake.
Yeah.
Then you told her you'd made, I think, 10K or 15K by that 20, point.
I think, yeah.
What has she said now?
Yeah, well, after that, I probably haven't really talked to her about it at all. But if I told her what I'd made now, she'd probably just go, oh, that's good.
So she believes it?
Oh, she would just go along with it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What about your partner? Your girlfriend?
Yeah,
Does she know that it all works?
Yeah.
Knows how much you're making? Yeah,
she knows all that.
She's supportive of you doing it?
Yeah.
She's not doing it too?
Nah, she wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, she's really good about it, but she probably is skeptical about it in a way.
Yeah.
Probably more of a concern than, thinking it doesn't work.
Yeah, okay. And do you have any balance with that? Like, does she get annoyed that you're betting on a Saturday and not spending time with her? Like,
yeah. And if I see her at night and, I've got data entry to do or just something to do, then...
Just don't get her to do it?
She'd have me too hard.
I mean, you can take her on holidays and things like that. Yeah, is that what you're doing now?
Yeah.
Is that what the holidays
with? Yeah, we're going to Bali soon. Yep.
Nice. When are you on Bali?
In June.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I'm going for the first time ever after my honeymoon for masterminds at the start of May.
Is that what you went in Gold Coast for?
No, that was a founder's table. That was just a lunch thing that I got flown up, or I flew up and then got entry into. But we've gone through a lot. We've talked about your journey through free course to platinum, to horse, to sport, to mentorship within 2 months, to making 120K, which is fucking crazy. And now you're doing some significant numbers. I dare say you'll hit some crazy figures over the next 12 months. And I reckon you'll get to the age of 22 and you'll have an enormous amount of money saved, which is sick.
Hopefully, yeah.
So where's to from here? Do you have any questions? Anything else to discuss?
Just gonna keep doing what I'm pretty laid back as it is. I'm sure you can tell.
Yeah.
Just go with the flow and just see how it all pans out.
Nice.
I know how it'll go, but just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously upskilling at the same time, but
you're still looking to learn heaps more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Have you got any questions for anyone in the audience or anyone in the office out there? Obviously got a clan in here today.
Yeah.
Any questions for me?
Don't
have to have any.
No, I don't reckon. I'm sure I'll have some tonight.
Cool.
Another meetup.
Easy.
Yep.
Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh,
obviously, if you have listened to this or watched it and you have got inspired by old mate Jack, he's a very calm operator. Doesn't look like he cares that much, but he's quietly printing, which is sick. And to be able to achieve what he's achieved at his age and in such a short period of time, I would say you're up there with like top 5 in terms of speed of money being made, like 120 in August to March, April. What are we like? What's that? 8 months?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
Like that is high speed, and it's going faster and faster, which is dangerous to tell people that. But reality is, you know what you're doing, you're structured, you're disciplined. So keep doing it. Thanks for sharing. Hopefully inspired people in the audience. Yeah. And I mean, if anyone wants to take a leaf out of someone who takes action, that's a classic example of what happens as a result of the butterfly effects of making decisions that might seem risky, but realistically are just like logical progressions of where you end up as a result of taking leverage, taking upside, taking opportunities, and I guess exposing yourself to people that are experts or, as I said, more experienced than you. So thank you.
No worries.
And we'll see you up there on the rooftop tonight and probably see you in the content. So
no worries.
Thank you.
All good.
Thanks, mate.
All good.
Appreciate it. All right, so Jack's printing money. He's made 120K. That number's growing every single month. If you want to print money as well, you can apply for our mentorship program. That's where 100 other members have decided to grow and compound their match betting operation. To do this, all you need to do is send a message to the Telegram account at Road to 150K, and we'll tell you the next steps. See you there. Appreciate it. There he is.
Fucking about time, these cunts.
What? As we finish?
No, as you finish, this guy. What do you reckon? Fucking fluke. As they finish.
Standing there.
He goes, whoa, as we finish.
Oh, can you hear out?
Of course.
How long was that?
Fucking ages. Nah, 53 minutes. This guy's hogging all the fucking screen time.
Who loves it?
Food?
Speaks well.
Well, nah, you don't want anything.
Yeah.
Ethan's starving. Poor cunt's fading away.
Thanks, Ethan.
No worries. Hopefully it looks right.
Thanks, Jack.
No worries.